Today is December 8th, and this is take 2 because you can see in the mirror there, I just had to go get a trailer. My plans change all the time. I think I've got everything all figured out, and God just kind of laughs at me because I don't have nothing figured out. So I'm going to, Lord willing, dig up this trachycarpus, and I thought it's 10 foot tall. I can put it in the back of the truck and it'll just hang out a little bit. Nope, the trunk alone is 14 foot tall, not including the root ball and the fronds. So it was not going to fit in the truck. And you can't just rent a utility trailer one way. You can rent a trailer, but you got to return it to the point of origin. So I've been wanting a utility trailer for a long time. I just didn't want to spend the money, but now that has been prompted in my life. So here is, we're coming up on it. There's a real sickly looking trachy here on the left. Guessing that's nematodes or something. And then, oh, my wife is calling. Well, there it is. Yeah, that thing is 14 foot tall. The trunk is 14 foot tall. So we're gonna do it all with mostly hand and hydraulic tools. We're not using any actual power equipment to do that. So we will see how it goes. Look at that thing. It's so tall. Not sure how long I've been digging, but I'm getting somewhere. This clay is heavy. Been digging for 3 hours, and I've got it to where the root ball is moving real good. Well, I've got the root ball reduced, but that clay is still too heavy. So where there's a will, there's a way. The old 3-ton floor jack has something to say about it. Floor jacks are meant to use flat, so they don't like to work at an angle though. Using the come along to pull it over in combination with the floor jack worked well, but that clay is just so dadgum heavy. Pardon the messy backyard. I wanted to document the whole process of loading it onto the trailer, but I ran out of daylight, so I was loading it in the dark, so I was not able to video that. But I lifted it with the engine hoist. I had a chain around the root ball, and then I had some tubular nylon around the trunk and a load equalizer, so that way I could adjust the tilt of the palm, and that worked incredibly well. The only part that I had trouble with was trying to roll the engine hoist to get the palm over the trailer, because that thing's made to roll on smooth concrete floors, not gravel and stuff. So I used a come along to help me with that, and that worked fine. I needed to elevate the front of the palm to clear the pickup truck, so I built an A-frame. I'm going to do a video on A-frames. They are so simple and strong and reliable. This thing was bouncing all over the place on that 2-hour drive home through all those curvy Appalachian roads, and it was flawless. It worked perfectly fine. I don't know how much a A-frame out of 4x4s will hold. At least 1,000 pounds for sure, maybe a ton, maybe more. And then it's a big old root ball, and it's a big old hole. So this is our Sand Hills sand. We're in the Sand Hills of North Carolina, and that is why it looks like they put fill dirt on the top foot or whatever for the housing community when they built all the houses, and then all the gold down there is the native sand and clay. And then there's rocks at the very bottom, but you don't see rocks until you get down like 3 feet. I don't have my soil sample results back yet, so I'm flying in the blind here. So I'm just gonna go with what I know, which is compost, fresh wood mulch, and native soil to backfill. I trimmed off, I think, 13 fronds. I did that to reduce the nutrient load because the roots are so tore up. I like the the skirted dead fronds, so I think I'm going to leave that at least for now. I took apart the A-frame, got it all ready. It's raised up on the hoist, and if you can see the come along there, that engine hoist doesn't roll on this metal grate, so I had to use a come along to... We're at the limit of advance though. My wheels are running into the tailgate, so I've got the hole prepped and ready. So that is a backfill mixture of compost, native soil, wood mulch, and it looks really good. And I needed 30 inches, but I set it at 28 because this thing weighs, I'm figuring, around 1,500 to 1,600 pounds. So I think it should settle and compress that soil down there on the bottom of the hole a little bit. So I needed 30, but I set it at 28 so it can collapse like 2 inches. But I used the volumetric weight of wet wood. I figured at 65. Palms they're pretty waterlogged, and so 65 pounds per cubic foot. It's got an 8-inch trunk, 14 foot long, and then I used a sphere the volume of a sphere to calculate this for wet clay. The root ball is like 1,100 pounds or something like that. She's a heavy girl. Wet clay is very heavy. The fronds are negligible. I weighed a frond. A frond does not even weigh a pound. Now I gotta figure out how to get it straight. I didn't video the part where I leveled it. I just tied a rope around the tree and I ran it to another tree back there and used some pulleys and just pulled it up. But I figured out how to hide the most tore up part of the trunk. I'm not sure if that's a permanent solution or not, but Spanish moss, Tillandsia usneoides. And then don't forget to cramscape in some of your favorite companion plants, and you've got yourself a regular, cold hardy, tropical palm party. Cool.